mitochondrion, plural mitochondria. So mitochondria are small granular filamentous bodies found in the eukaryotic cells and generally known as powerhouse of the cell. In the cytoplasm of aerobically respiratory cells of plants and animals, these mitochondria are found but are absent in bacteria. See here in this sketch, diagrammatic sketch, one of the mitochondrion is shown. So, at first, morphology of the mitochondrion. So, mitochondria have different shapes but are generally granular or filamentous. Mitochondria may swell out at one end to become club-shaped. Size of mitochondria is also variable. Average length of mitochondria is 3 to 4 micron and average diameter is 0.5 to 1 micron. Different physical and chemical factors like pH, cell environment, and osmotic pressure influence the size and shape of mitochondria. Number of mitochondria per cell also varies, and this number depends on metabolic activity of the cell. So when or a cell which have high metabolic activities will be having more number of mitochondria in them, while those with low metabolic activity have lower number of mitochondria. Mitochondria, in case of green plant cells, they are fewer in number than in animal cells because some of their functions are taken over by chloroplast. Mitochondria are generally evenly distributed in the cytoplasm. Now, structure of mitochondria. See in this sketch, diagrammatic sketch, you can see the outer membrane, then inner membrane. In between these two membranes, there is a space, and it is called as a intermembranous space. Then inner membrane is infolded, and there is formation of structures like cristae. Some inclusions in it. Presence of DNA is also there. Presence of ribosomes is also there. And matrix, that is also there. So while studying structure of mitochondrion, typical mitochondrion, it measures about 15,000 angstrom long and 5,000 angstrom in diameter. It is bound by two membranes. Just we have seen outer membrane and inner membrane. And space between these two membranes is called as a intermembrane space that we have seen here. And this intermembrane space is about 40 to 70 angstrom in width and is filled with watery fluid. The space enclosed by inner membrane is called inner membrane space or inner chamber. Inner space or inner chamber is filled with matrix, which contains dense granules even, also ribosomes and mitochondrial DNA that lies in this matrix. These granules are considered to be the sites for binding divalent cations like magnesium and calcium. Inner membrane is thrown up into series of folds. So inward curlings of inner membrane. So several folds they are there, and these folds they are called as mitochondrial cristae, which projects into the inner chamber. Cavity of cristae is called intercristae space and is continuous with intermembrane space. Outer surface of outer membrane and inner surface of inner membrane are covered with thousands of small particles. The particles which are sessile and attached to outer membrane are stalkless, and these particles are called as subunits of person. The particles on the inner membrane are stalked particles and are called subunits of Fernandez-Moran. Particles on the inner membrane are involved in hydrogen transfer. These inner membrane particles consist of, see here in this figure, inner membrane particles, they consist of base piece. Somewhere here we can see a stalk, and headpiece. So we can show it somewhat like this here. This is base, this is stalk, and here headpiece. So these particles, they are spaced at this distance of about 100 angstrom. So apart from each other, the distance is 100 angstrom in between these particles. The headpiece is about 75 to 100 angstrom in diameter, and stalk is about 50 angstrom in length. Each elementary particle contains all enzymes for electron transport and for oxidative phosphorylation. Thus these particles are also called as a electron transport particles. This mitochondrial membrane has molecular organization just like that of the plasma membrane. Each membrane is made up of two main substances and also the attached particles. And these two main substances are proteins and lipids. These particles, they are called as the F1 particles. Also they are named as a oxysomes. Now function of mitochondria. So we all know that mitochondria are concerned with generation of ATP, and thus they are called powerhouse of the cell. In aerobic cell, ATP generation is made by this cell organelle, that is mitochondria. Cell respiration is the function of mitochondria. Mitochondria are respiratory centers of the cell. During cell respiration, the organic substance is oxidized to carbon dioxide and water in presence of oxygen. And while doing this process, ATPs are generated. So, if one glucose molecule gets completely oxidized into water and carbon dioxide, there is generation of total 38 ATP molecules. And the process of electron transfer or oxidative phosphorylation, it takes place on the oxysomes or F1 particles, which are present on the surface of crystal. So this is the overall importance of mitochondria in aerobic cell.